to do the best we can to get the full story, we can find your wife and you can get back to normal. Obviously, part of that involves talking with you. So, again, this is a voluntary thing. Like I told you out there, I haven't lied to you, and I'm not going to start now.
We could have done this at my house?
No. This part we can't do it.
Because it's not voluntary.
No, it's completely voluntary.
And I could leave if I want to.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to. I'm just...
Yeah. You try that door right now.
At some point, could we, I want to help you. I want to get this going because I didn't do it, and I want you to find whatever the hell happened to her.
Me too.
I want it to happen.
I don't mean to insult you.
No.
But you can read English, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I have to ask that because I've had people before that,
I can read.
when I go over rights waivers, later on, they magically can't read English.
I can read.
So, again, I don't mean to insult you. So,
I've gone through this in my head with the timeline, and some of my times don't line up. I made a phone call and I thought I was sleeping.
Okay.
So, I try my best, but I don't want to make
anything
false.
You're human, right?
Yeah, I'm human.
And all I want is your best.
It might be, specific times I couldn't really be like, this is when I did this, this is when I did that. I could if I had my phone sort of.
Just the best that you can.
Yeah, yeah, man. Just know that the times are going to might be wrong, and I would hate to give you a wrong time, and then be suspect me of something.
I just don't want to blatant lie like the sky's purple.
Absolutely.
Something like that.
If
you say this happened at 4:51, and I'm like, oh no, that's bullshit. It was 4:55.
No,
you lied.
It could be an hour off. It was night. It was just like any other night. It wasn't.
Correct.
So I'm not checking my time.
Correct. And you're human.
It was a normal night. We drank. We came home. We hung out. I left because I wake up in the night to go pee. I don't go back into the bedroom because I don't want to wake her up. I sleep in my son's room, who doesn't live there anymore, on the couch, and I slept. I made texts, and I talked to people during that period.
Okay.
And it's on the phone.
Just the best in your own words.
But I can't tell you, hey, I made texts at 5, at 3, you know what I mean?
Right.
I can't. I won't write down times, but I'll just kind of give you a brief, a story without times, because I think.
But just any instance that you can recall.
Yeah.
I'm not so time focused right now. It's just the fact that I want to be able to make sure I have everything sequentially. From how I understand it, I want to make sure that I can pick up and go, oh yeah, that's right. When he woke up, he then moved the refrigerator on the roof. Whatever it may be, I want to make sure that sequentially I understand.
Could you help me write it? Because I can't spell for one. I'm pretty horrible. Or just kind of help me.
But if you need help with the word, I can help you spell it, absolutely. And
Can we get got home from being in Uptown, we talked, we went to bed together, made love, fell asleep, woke up to urinate, went to my son's room to sleep on couch. Spent time looking at the phone, made a few text messages, might have passed Facebook at some point, I fell back to sleep. My mother made a mid-morning text. I remember awakening towards noon. She texted me to see if we were going to a Memorial Day picnic. She didn't respond. I got up, looked through the house. I checked for her car, which was there. I went back to my son's room, only because I didn't think that anything was at that point wrong. She walks around. She does think she's just not there at that point. To the house, I checked for her car, which was there. I went back to my son's room, lying on the couch, looking through the phone. At some point in the afternoon, I realized there was something wrong. I called her friend Celeste. We talked. She said to call the police. When I saw her phone, at some point, when I saw her phone, it was probably the last thing I really was like, she's not right. Because the phone is pretty much her thing.
can I read over it now?
Yes.
Sure. You have very nice handwriting. I'll challenge you.
I didn't do anything in school.
No, you don't. Your handwriting's off. So you don't remember what time you came back from Uptown?
We came directly from, I think our last bar was not the Hook Line, I think it was that other old school, Bag and Nails. And I think I have the receipt. It was only for 20, we got fish fry and maybe a couple drinks. I don't think we were there for that long. We could check with them. I think they probably will know us.
So then you guys hung out and talked?
We hung out in the kitchen and we got really along really super well. It was her birthday. We started making out and we went to the bedroom and we had sex.
Okay, and that's in. So there's the master bedroom, just to make sure that I'm different.
The master bedroom.
And then there's the what you call called your man cave?
That would be my son.
That Joey's room?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to make sure that I'm separating right. So you went into your bedroom and had sex?
I went into the master bedroom with my wife,
Yes, sir.
and that's where she likes. Sometimes she sleeps on the porch, on the ground. She likes to be outside. I don't know if she went in there like at some point. As far as I know, I fell asleep. I woke up because I had to pee. She was there. I mean, I wouldn't know if she wasn't. I would just, if it would have said no there. I didn't have any inkling that she wasn't there. She just, I started doing that. We'd go, that day, we went down and got spring water. And I was talking about how the shelf life of water.
You texted him that night too?
Yeah, early morning.
Yeah, the 3-ish or
Monday, early morning.
Yes.
No, it wasn't 3. It was, so I said, it was more like,
Anytime from midnight to 3-ish.
when we see the times, he might have responded at 8 o'clock. And I texted him at 3. I would have to see my phone to tell.
Okay.
But there was definitely correspondence going on while I'm trying to fall asleep at night.
Any social media posts?
You'd have to check. I don't think so. I don't think so. But at some point in the morning, I fell back asleep. I did get back to sleep, and I didn't wake up until late into the morning. And the first thing I did was, because I knew we had to go to this, we'd been invited to a party, I said, hey, we still going to the party, and she didn't respond.
And where was that party?
I don't know him. She just barely knows him. It's on there. I talked to him, actually, because I gave him, they were like, who's this guy? And I found out who he was, and they called him. And I texted him, and I asked him, maybe she went over there.
You texted him on your phone?
I'm not sure. No, it was hers, because it was through her. It was her phone. I wouldn't have it. I don't even know this guy. And I asked him, his family over there. Maybe she went over there without me. Maybe I slept too late, and she said, whatever, not going to get him up. I'm just going to go without him. And he said he hadn't heard from her all day.
About what time is that?
11, 12, 11, maybe close to 12.
You texted him?
No, I don't know. Maybe a couple hours after that, hour after that. I would hate to not say. I don't know.
So then, in your words, you got up like around 11-ish?
I was closer to 12, if I remember correctly. And I got up and I walked around and she wasn't there, and I'm like, okay, she's out doing her thing. And I went back to my couch. She was kind of there, kind of over for the night before. And the next thing I did was text her again at, I think 3. It was like 3 hours later. And I'm like, I guess we're not going to the party. Where are you? I didn't ask her that, but I was like, I guess we're not going to the party. And that was the last thing I texted her. Got up again. And then I looked, there's her car. There's her purse. There's her phone. Things started. This is not right.
Where?
So between 11 and 3, what were you doing? Were you just laying there on the couch?
11 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. It was lying in my son's room. Kind of just chilling, recovering, waiting for her.
Did you go to the bathroom at any point?
I don't. Yeah, there was periods for it. I mean, I definitely got up.
You didn't know she was gone? Or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. The first time when I texted her and said, are we going to this party? And she didn't get back to me, I checked the Find My phone, and the phone said that she was there. So I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? At some point that happened. So it just didn't, okay, she's doing her thing, she's going to come in and get me when we're ready to go, or whatever. At some point, she didn't come in and get me. I got up, went out there, between 11 and 3 at some point. It still wasn't a big concern. I wasn't freaked out. I kind of went around a little bit, and the first thing I did was look to see if her car was there, because she took off. That would have made sense. She left. Her car was there, so okay, she's doing something. She's just out and about. I texted her again at 3. I'm pretty sure that's the time you guys can check the.
And in between those 2 times, you texted the gentleman in.
No, I didn't get concerned until the second time I texted her and said, hey, I guess we're not going.
You texted him
after. That was
after
3, could have been 3:40, could have been 3:50.
Okay.
Then after that text, that's when I got up. So I didn't even know her phone was still there until, because I texted it. So her sister made a through text that I didn't notice. And her sister says it was at 3:45.
Mm-hmm.
She says she responded to it.
At 3:45 p.m. on Monday?
Yes. Let me think. I'm getting screwed up. I'm not getting this screwed up. Maybe it was 8:45 in the morning. That's what it was. It was 8, so while I'm sleeping.
So her sister, what's her sister's name?
Her sister name is Amy.
Okay. She said a group text at 8:45 that
To
night?
her and I, and from that you can tell whether someone answers it, views it. And she said that we both viewed it at some point. I don't know when I did. She said that, I don't know if you can tell when they get viewed, but it was viewed. And it wasn't me that viewed it with the phone. So to me, she was there at 8:45 or 8 in the morning. Emily was there. That's my.
He looked at like 8, 9, and then he's now saying, I can't
swear to it. And
maybe it's not, could be Sunday.
So that makes it look bad for me.
Well, it just makes it great. I mean, we're not going to put.
You guys want to look at anything in my body? You want to look at anything at all? I'm here.
Well, let's just talk.
I hope you guys know that I love my wife, and I would never hurt her.
That's kind of where I was going to go next is, so because we've kind of beat this timeline down pretty good. So you guys got married 2 years ago?
We got married August 28, August 28, 2018. Easy one to remember.
8/28 point. Okay.
And I had a son.
Any tissues or anything? Drink water? Okay, we know about it. We don't need to. We don't want to bring up bad memories, so let's try and focus on. Okay, because I don't.
Oh, schizophrenia is the worst thing that happened to me. I don't know where to go now. We want to know.
So, and things were great with you and him?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
See my life.
Now, we don't have some issues with our wives. You and I have both been married once before, okay? We all know how marriages are, so there's ups and downs. What were the downs?
I lost my sex drive after my kid died, sort of, and there was an issue with that.
Sure.
There was never any, she really was really great with the house. She was really meticulous, and I liked it. She reminded me of my mother when it came to taking care of a home, and so she would tell me to wash this and do that, and I really dug it. Did you read our text?
Well, we didn't go through everything. There
There might be some old text where we were like, whatever, but it was, after my son died, there was tension, stress. She dealt with it differently than I did, and so there was things that were said back and forth. But this whole Corona thing, really,
Oh, yeah.
we became really super. She's like, and we need each other. Let's do this thing. Guys, I did not hurt my wife. I did not hurt my wife. Was there times when she would kind of say, I'm not afraid to die, this thing? I mean, don't they all kind of be like that? Sort of. Nothing that I would ever call anybody go, my wife's going to hurt herself. Nothing.
Why would you think she would hurt herself? I mean, possibility.
Because she was, not that she ever would, I'm just saying she was emotional. She would get emotional.
Really, 2 weeks ago, there was one person that she kind of confided in through text messages and so forth.
Said something that.
And she said that Matt picked another fight with me last night. This was 2 weeks ago. And then they kind of want to talk about it a little bit. Early May, we're talking this month. Matt and I are talking and friendly, but it's not the kind of relationship I want. In April, a month ago, please don't talk about Matt and I in love. She said, same day, he has been the same since Joy, which I understand. That's not a criticism. I completely get that. It certainly changed. And at the same time, she said, I think Matt is mentally ill. And then the same day, we aren't talking. Reference to relationship, we're not talking. This was a month ago, so we're not talking. And she said, I don't want to talk about him. I'd rather focus on the future. By the way, Matt got really drunk last night. This was February. By the way, Matt got really drunk last night, said some things I don't think he can take back. I'm fine. I'm pretty sure we are not going to stay together. What did you say?
I mean, we would argue about things, but I didn't think that it was that.
What was it that you said?
I
She was mad.
And she focused on one thing, Matt picked the fight. Again, this is April. This is barely a month
She
ago.
would accuse me of taking fights.
Okay, but this was a month ago. Okay, this is heavy. Matt picked the fight with me yesterday and said some awful things. I'm not wearing my wedding ring. And that doesn't sound like somebody who's in a happy relationship. I thought my wife texted that to somebody a month ago.
I get it. I'm not going to say that those things. Of course, there was a roller coaster relationship, but it wasn't like anything that would think that someone would hurt someone. It just would.
I'm just addressing the fact that you just told me the last 6 months have been less than an 8.
Yes.
Okay.
There have been levels of that,
Okay.
and you can check the other texts, and they are super. I love you.
I saw that. It's very much up and down.
That would go away. That would really go away. It would last for a night.
Will you acknowledge that that's some pretty heavy shit when your wife said, I took up my wedding ring, I don't think we're going to stay together?
It's not as heavy as you think it is.
You don't think that?
You might think it is, but it's not. She would be like that at times because of her anger issues. It always swung back. We were always, it wasn't.
Well, why would you have said that whenever they asked how the relationship?
I didn't even remember that because it's not in my mindset. The good times have been so good.
Okay, but
you guys are really going to try to.
I'm not trying to do anything. I'm reading your wife's words.
I understand that.
Just let me. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying when you come in and say, we had a great relationship, told Officer Hollis, we had a great marriage, no problems whatsoever, and then I read this, it's going back 6 months, and you text her on New Year's Eve and say, if you want a divorce and we're going to move out, fine. I mean, these are all things I just printed off, which have they aren't the usual fight, like, I'm pissed at you, fuck off, I don't want to talk to you tonight, just leave me over. It's go golfing, because I don't want to see you right now, I want to be alone. That's,
Well,
you think that's pretty, that's,
it's not as heavy as you think it is. From looking at it from the outside, I can see why someone would think that, but it's not. It's just the level of anger from. I'm not gonna say it's her fault. I have my issues with my son. I would get angry too. We would fall back in love the next day. It was just the thing that we would do, and it wasn't. And when you said, "Hey, how was the last 6 months?" The last 6 months have been really nice, man. I mean, was there a time that we had a night where I said some bad things and she took her wedding ring off? How long ago was that? I mean,
a month.
Look, it happened, but I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't know how to explain to you.
Do you remember that happening though?
I remember her. I think taking her wedding ring off, but didn't last. But this thing's gone on forever.
When was the last argument you and her got into, the screaming match?
There was never really a screaming match. It was more of just.
When was the last argument / loud
I
conversation?
couldn't tell you. I was guessing.
Because your neighbors are out there saying it was in the last 2 weeks. Would that be correct?
I don't know. And there's the screaming. We were screaming at each other. They were saying we were screaming at each other. Yes, but they could hear. I don't know. We were friends. I mean, that's surprising to me because I wasn't like, I mean, at times you say, I don't want to be married to anymore. But it doesn't go down the lines that I'm sitting in a police station right now, being like you're going after me.
We just have to make sure we know that you
Trust me, as a man to man, that what was going on there was nothing there was nothing to be worried about.
How do you know if you did? And there's nothing wrong with it.
I don't know.
Matt, this was 2 days ago.
I know.
You can't remember if you
Which
were
phone?
on her phone. Did you get on her? Did you think to yourself, and this would make perfect sense, to say, look, I don't know her friends, which we know. So I'm going to get on it. You made the comment. I would like to post things to her account. That's why you wanted her phone back. So it's been through your mind. It would make perfect sense. I'm going to go on her Facebook account and post, hey, has anyone seen Emily? This is her husband. I can't find her. She's
I
been.
must have. I can't recall that I must have.
You don't remember that? It was 2 days ago.
I don't know. I don't know if it was me that I got on. I must have.
Was someone else using her phone?
No.
So the phone stayed at the house the whole time? You didn't hand it out to a cousin or walking down the street, some Joe stranger or anything else like that? Okay. So if anything was posted on her account, have you ever accessed her Facebook from your phone?
I can't. So I've never done it. I can't access. I've tried to post stuff onto her page from my phone, but it doesn't
But you can't get in as her on her Facebook?
I can do it from her phone. I can do it. Yeah,
Yes.
just get on her phone, go to Facebook, and
Okay.
I'm sure I did. I can't say I definitively did, but I'm sure I got on Facebook. Hey, I did, didn't I? I did. You guys know. I went on and say, this is Matt. I'm Emily's husband. She's missing. I must have. I had to. I just don't recall right now if I did. But I'm pretty. I mean, that would be the move to make. Right? I mean,
Just because we ask you the question, it doesn't mean that we're going at it.
It's not a trick question.
I know, you're right, and I'm just trying to tell you that if I don't in my head picture it, I don't want to say I did. But I mean, it would be the move to make. I mean, yeah, I must have.
Okay.
I've been using
Of course, no one knows anything. I'm just asking for your opinion. So you think that she hung herself?
I don't know.
Just what does your gut say?